And welcome back to the last series of today, Vicious versus Team Black Diamond. By the way, for those who doesn't know Team Black Diamond, this team has been undefeated in this season. So they have been getting sweeps every time, so they haven't lost a single game. And right now, from what I heard, is that Vicious has a new roster, so this could be like resulting in positive results or negative results, but it's just gonna be creating, I would say, an excitement and like this kind of expectation when it just comes to watching this team playing right now. So, Nenji, do you have like any predictions or who's gonna be winning?
Well, for now, Ferocity just scored his first goal for Team Black Diamond. My prediction would probably go a little bit to the Black Diamond side because they have more, they played more as a team. But on the other side, Vicious is back with a different roster than before. We all remember the forfeit that they did in the previous match day, so I hope it won't happen again. And I hope their new roster will improve things for them. But yeah,
No,
my prediction would be maybe Team Black Diamond winning this 3-1, probably.
I'm also hoping to see a big improvement for Vicious as well. But just I didn't really know that much about the team. I have looked only at the previous result, and I've seen that they lost against Eagles. And if you watch Liga Raketa, like especially season 4 right now, the team has been struggling a lot to keep up with the pace, and they have got swept against Eagles. And right now they're just gonna be facing Team Black Diamond, and this team's, like I said, is undefeated, and I don't think they're gonna be losing anytime soon. But with this new roster, it just kind of add this kind of like a variable and just like kind of make it more unpredictable. But I still gonna be sticking with my I would say original predictions. It's gonna be Team Black Diamond gonna be walking away with another clean victory on their results. It's gonna be 4-0 for Team Black Diamond.
That's a very bold prediction, and hopefully for Vicious they won't really lose all four matches. But I can understand why would you would predict it like that, considering what they've shown so far.
This is a really good play coming from Valen G. Just everybody seems to be in a really awkward spot in the defense. Brian facing backwards, and Aquatic is just stuck on the wall, unable to do anything really useful for his team, and that's going to be resulting in a tie game. Most of the times, like you just create this, make this roster changes. It's going to be like there always going to be some times for you where you're going to have to be adjusting, like try to find the best role for you to also help the new player to be fitting in the team. So I'm not really sure for how long they have been playing with each others right now. So I still like I don't think they're gonna be showing up like really quickly. If anything else, it will be through the series. So just like I was saying, it's either gonna be 3-1 or just like I said 4-0 for Team Black Diamond. But so far it seems to be a very close game. We're seeing both forces just pushing at each other's non-stop, and we're seeing some kind of signs of inconsistencies from Team Black Diamond right now.
Yeah, they're both not as skilled and high level teams like the previous match, but so far they've been uh, very closely matched. So I think it can still be a very interesting series here. And if I'm not mistaken, we can already see some improvement in Vicious play style. Probably more confidence because Violent G is a really good attacker. So basically, if they work on their rotation and do defending well, they can maybe even get something out of this.
Good center ball, but nobody was there to quickly follow it up. It was just standing the blue side for just a bit too long, and nobody was there to punish for the team in orange. It's gonna be Ryan. Almost on the angle. What's gonna be Aquatic just sniping the ball to go inside of the net. Somehow just managed to avoid all of these players and still get a solid contact in the ball, and also resulting in an own goal, but it's just more of an attempt to tried to save the ball at the last moment, but that's gonna be a lead for Team Black Diamond once again. It's gonna be Frosty, almost getting the dunk in the air. Now Brian with a miss. It's gonna be a free chance to go in the offense for Vicious right now. It's gonna be the last minute of game one. It's gonna be Aquatic, just once again off the ceiling, almost found the second touch to pass it back for himself. Barely any boost remaining on Aquatic Sang, so he didn't really get the touch that he wanted. Otherwise, that would have been a really perfect moment to secure the first win of the series. Now it is just trying to push too hard at the last 30 seconds. Even Team Black Diamond, they're just acknowledging the potentials of Vicious right now. They're just trying to not make any kind of mistake and also maybe overcommit in the offense and just underestimate the new roster as well. The final countdown. And it's gonna be another win for Team Black Diamond, but I would say it's still a shaky win. But I'm surprised from Vicious how well they played and they just also managed to keep the game very close. Both teams had great potentials right there to be dominating, but I would say it just Vicious. You're actually right. Vicious is looking really scary at the moment with this like new roster, and Violent G is looking like a really solid player to be fitting into the new team. But it just hopefully it's gonna be staying like this and also gets better for Vicious. They had their chances in the offense, but not so much compared to Team Black Diamond. If you just look at the shot percentage, it's 11 shots compared to 4 only in game one. Even though it's just the game very close, but it just seems to be overall Team Black Diamond is more likely to be pushing than Vicious.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Team Black Diamond seems like the type of team that just goes for the win and doesn't want any compromises. While Wishes is probably still trying to test out what they can do as a team, and we can see that here on the score table right now.
Game number 2. Game 1 was just a very close game when it comes to the results. But Vicious, I'm really looking forward to see more of them just playing. The team's looking really fun to watch at the moment, and hopefully they're gonna keep on playing like that for the whole tournament. Really nice passing play. It's gonna be leading to a transition only. Now Aquatic with an early shot. None of his teammates were expecting a pass in the midfield, so it's gonna be immediately cleared. And just once again, things are looking really chaotic in the orange side. Now Brian with another whiff in the air. We have seen it earlier, so this could be really a moment where it just could lead to tilting, because if you're just gonna be missing so many aerials, it's gonna be leading you to slow things down and just maybe just kind of get to your head, and also maybe just gonna be underestimating yourself and not looking really confident as you should be.
Vicious here trying to do some team plays, unfortunately ending them with whiffs. But it's nice to see that they're actually coming together as a team. And as you said, I hope they will keep on playing a better game in the rest of the tournament.
I'm not sure how that 50 happened right there, just in the wall, just managed to send the ball straight into the net. And you can see that Violent G, he was the only one able to get that read, but he just wasn't fast enough for it yet. So that's gonna be another game where just Team Black Diamond taking the first goal and going on the lead. Oh, Frosty with a second touch as he lands, extending the lead. It just right off the kickoff is able to get that kind of play really fast. This is just incredible.
Well done by Frosty, showing off some skills there. Vicious seemed surprised and shocked at the same time. they were completely out of position to save that.
Exactly, it just happened like right after kickoff, where it just seems to be more likely to be uncollected and just trying to position yourself, because it's gonna be like a 15, just gonna have to adjust your position accordingly to where the ball will be landing at. But that happened like so fast that none of Vicious players were able to get the read and able to keep the ball away. That's gonna be a beautiful passing plays for Vicious right now. Violent G is able to get a solid placement as well, just putting it in the post, and that's gonna be one on the board.
Wish is finally showing some skills here and some uh, aggressiveness that could result in more goals for them. But so far, Akrotik has been really solid in defense, not only talking about this series, but previous matches as well. So Vicious has a difficult task before them.
As they're almost just trying to catch the ball, just couldn't really get it though. But really fast clear coming from Vicious. Not to the best recovery from Brian. He has been showing a lot of signs of inconsistencies up in the air. Hopefully it doesn't stay like this, otherwise it could be resulting in, I would say, huge, I would say like, it's gonna be creating a lot of disabilities for Black Diamond right now. And I think this kind of lead to another kind of pressure, because I think they're gonna be trying to meet those expectations. They haven't really lost a game, so they're just trying their best right now not to lose any game soon and just keep on having this clean record.
They are aware that there are some stronger teams than them in the competition, so they're probably trying to bump their score up as high as possible with the teams that they have a chance against. Because let's be honest, playing against the likes of Egomaniacs or Carnos Esports and Risky Business, they're not gonna have a easy task like with Eagles or Vicious. So yeah, Team Black Diamond again probably trying to get the most out of these series.
Yeah, these teams that you have mentioned, they're like at the highest tier on the league, even though they don't look that clean compared to Team Black Diamond. They were just like, maybe they have lost a couple of games or just maybe one series, but these are like high level players, so I'm sure they're able to just get top 4 at least if they're not going to be the champions. But I would say it's still going to be a lot of pressure for Team Black Diamond, especially since they're having very close games against Vicious. And right now, just as I speak, it's going to be Acrotic, a shot off the wall, extending the lead. It's going to be two goals lead basically for I would say Team Black Diamond. 43 seconds only. It's going to be really hard to be bouncing back in like a very short time. But Team Black Diamond just slowly having their confidence up, and they're just really showing and putting really good aggression on Vicious.
In the third quarter of the game, Team Black Diamond seemed to be a little bit sleepy, but now they're pressing hard, just not wanting to leave anything to chance, and they want a clean win here. And it seems that they will get it.
And this is the second win for Team Black Diamond. It was a close series at the beginning, but then like at the end of game number 2, right now they look like the better team, like when compared to, again, just the shot percentage just always showing up. So this is a really good sign. So Team Black Diamond, even though it was like they're facing I would say a solid challenge, but they're still able to have their chances in the offense, and I think this is a very huge thing for Team Black Diamond, and I don't think they can be really struggling anytime soon. So I think it just comes to adapting and also finding their opponent's weakness. And once they get to do that, it's gonna be, I would say, like less of a challenge through the series for Team Black Diamond. But I'm not underestimating Vicious. They're definitely proven themselves just at the first game, obviously. But in game number 2, they just seem to be like cooling down a little bit compared to Team Black Diamond, where they just kept pushing and pushing non-stop.
Exactly. It's like it's not a nice thing to hear, but it kind of seems like they're halfway to giving up already, instead of pushing harder to get eventually one win in this series would be good for them, at least for their confidence and their stats. But right now they seem like they don't really have a solution to the situation they found themselves in.
Frosty kind of stuck in the defense, barely any boost remaining, yet he's still able to keep the ball out of his own health. And another demoing play coming from Black Diamond. It's gonna
And
be
Azul
Enzo.
pushing through to score that goal, and you love demos, don't you?
Yeah, but still, like, eventually, just that demo seems to be not that productive, so it didn't really do any good. So it was so quick to be biting him back, and that's gonna be resulting Black Diamond to go down by 1 goal in game number 3, even though they just, in the previous games, they have always been the team that has been scoring first. And I think this is a really good start for Vicious right now. I think this is exactly also what they needed, so they just really need to extend the lead and just try to have some chance to tie the series up at least in the next game. There's still plenty of time remaining, so this could go either way around, but for Vicious, they're having the start and they just really need to keep on having this kind of start and don't fall down, I would say, just against Black Diamond, because the team is just still looking scary when it comes to those offensive plays.
Yeah, I'm usually completely for offense, and in any sport, basically, I think when you have the lead, you shouldn't fall back, but you should push to improve the lead. But considering Vicious and the situation they are in, I think they should probably reorganize their defense and maybe try and keep the score up. But obviously, that's not working for them.
They finally respond back. They were having their shots. There was like basically double commits everywhere for Vicious. So many players at the same spot, just creating this kind of confusion. Also, a delay on every challenge they had to go for, because they don't really know who's going to be going for it. And as soon as they get to maybe commit to that decision, it's going to be way too late for them, or otherwise it's going to be resulting in a double commit where it's going to be just 2 players out of position. It's going to be really awkward for them to be covering up those empty spaces.
Double whiff there by Team Black Diamond, and it almost ends up in a goal, but Violent G's shot was really weak. It was going directly towards the defending player. So the score is still 1-1.
Frosty, kind of a bit of mistouch, but they're just still able to recover so quickly. Now it's going to be Brian trying to find the second touch. It's going to be Aquatic with a follow, but Jacob, solid defense to prevent the ball from going in. Now Azure trying to center the ball. Just, you really got to give them the credit for the defense in the backboard. They're just denying any chance from going through, which is what Vicious really need. Frosty with the second touch, still off target. Now Aquatic, it's gonna be in, and just a free jump, yet unable to get a 50 or anything else. Just both of your teammates were trusting you on that one, and just once again, it just 2 players on the same spot. It just, none of them were able to clear the ball away.
I have to say their positioning was really terrible there, and you can't do that against teams like Black Diamond, especially when you need the win in a match like this. So for now, it seems like your prediction was better than mine. because if things stay like they are now, it's gonna be
Beautiful
for
demo.
maybe it
Yeah,
won't be a
still
clean sweep for a team like Diamond.
they're still able to stay alive, I would say. So maybe like my predictions aren't still like about to happen. So there's still some kind of chance for Vicious to prove me wrong right there. But it just like Vicious, they looked really clean in the beginning, but right now they're just showing a lot of struggles in the defense, and you don't really want to have that, especially after keeping the series very close. So you know that you could keep the series very close, so you could win. If you gotta keep the series very close, it's still gonna be showing that you're still able to win. So it's so early for you to be giving up. But right now the game is still tied up, so hopefully for Vicious, they will be able to fix their mistakes and also get to communicate better and work on those spaces.
Vicious now going aggressively, and Team Black Diamond was in sort of a weird spot right there. Their defense was all around the place.
Really nice solo play from Aquatic. There you go, just the last shot, it's gonna be from Brian, but Azor is there for the block to prevent that 0-second goal.
They're
Jacob with a
keeping the ball
pre-jump.
up.
The ball still alive, by the way. None of the teams are letting go, but we're still going to the overtime in game number 3. Vicious are still staying alive and not giving up so quickly. They're still having their chances right there. Gonna be Frosty with a miss of the wall.
Vicious are very high upfield, leaving the goal behind very open, and that could
Biology is forced
that
to play
could
the
turn out
last
as
man
a big
back.
mistake.
Yeah, thankfully they didn't get capitalized on that mistake because Biology was forced to play the third man in the back, just waiting for his teammates to be finishing their rotation so he could go for a challenge. Now Jacob with a free shot and Brian with a pre-flip, yet is still enabled to make the save. And Vicious, one more hope for them to stay alive.
They won this match, and in the end, your prediction wasn't correct. It's a win for them.
But
So
still, I'm
let's
gonna
see.
be still walking away with 3-1. I'm still gonna be okay with that, but I would say Team Black Diamond, they just finally lost a game, but it just still like one goal difference and it's like an overtime. So so yeah, we're not like gonna be really. I would say I don't think we're gonna have a close, another close game, or like I would say a tie series because like Black Diamond is like overall I think they're still looking the better team, but just I don't know. It's like sometimes they can be having some kind of weird plays. It's like maybe they're just looking way too relaxed. But for Vicious, I really respect that team. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be biased right there, but it just they have the potentials, but it's just not everything seems to be connecting together. And hopefully we're gonna see that in game number 4 because there's no more time for you, so you really want to end the series to be a tie at least. But for Black Diamond, they're probably going to be stepping up one more time.
I predicted a 3-1 win for Black Diamond, but if Wishes manages to get a draw in this series, I'm gonna be really surprised, and I think it's gonna be a big deal for them.
Even if it's a tie series, it's still going to be a big deal for them for sure. And now we're starting with another goal coming from Frosty right there, just putting his team on an early lead. Just beautiful pass as well coming from Brian. Violent G, he just rotated back to be defending his net, not really expecting a shot to be taken this fast. Like, even if it's like not gonna be 4-0, I think we're not gonna be wrong because if it's gonna be, hey, it's like it's gonna be 3-1, that's completely fine. We're just at least trying to get something out of these predictions. Really good 50 from Frosty. Is able to get the solo play. 2 goals lead on Frosty. Excuse me, for Black Diamond right there. Just he didn't really need a kind of passer. Just he managed to win the 50, and right now just a quick follow. Then it was left wide open.
Yeah, Team Black Diamond kind of wanting to show more initiative in this match. They were kind of sleepy in the previous one, letting Vicious take the win.
And the reason why I said game number 4 won't be really close because I think both sides will get tired and it will be all just up for that one team to be dominating because that's what we have. I'm really used to see like in these tournaments. It just every time just a series starts very close, the last game it will be the most disastrous and like your best job it would be like just make sure that's not gonna be on you. There's still
Yeah.
3 minutes remaining right now for Vicious to be bouncing up.
Yeah, it's basically keep your mistakes down and try and get lucky, score a goal or two, and that's it.
Interesting pre-jump save from Violent G. An accidental pass coming from Violent G, but they aren't able to capitalize. Halfway through game number 4, which is the last game of the series. It's gonna be Brian just already giving up so quickly after losing the 50, and Azur is just able to secure the goal for his team. 1 on the board, still plenty of time remaining, so Vicious, they could still bounce back again. They have done it in the previous game, and I'm sure that they could do it again. So as long as they get to fix their defensive mistakes, they're definitely able to do that. Interesting double tap from Frosty right off the kickoff. It just seems to be so quick to get those fancy plays. Team Black Diamond is able to play really fast, and we have seen what they're able to do also with the mechanics. So just once again, they have to do it two more times in order to send the game to overtime like in game number 3.
And I'm really glad to see a good atmosphere in the chat. Vicious players commending Frosty on that beautiful goal. It's a completely different story than we've seen in the previous match day. And it was really a beautiful shot and a beautiful goal.
Now Team Black Diamond must be feeling really good right now, especially after getting that maybe double taps. Like after a series has been really close, and right now you're just able to get those fancy goals, and right now just in the last game, you're having 2 goals lead basically on your opponent and 1 minute and a half remaining. So you kinda just try to relax and maybe not push way too hard. So just maybe try to keep on having more goals than your opponents and just could be helping up your goal differentials. But for Vicious, they seem to be like the team who is able to take down Team Black Diamond. They have finally resulted Team Black Diamond to have a loss on their record right now. So, like I said, they have a lot of potentials, and hopefully we're gonna see them playing again because this new roster seems to be really unstoppable once they get to be connecting together. Huge opening right there, just in the defense. Nobody's home. Everybody's just committed. 4-1 on the board. It's just gonna be Acrotic winning a 50, just waiting for the ball to be bouncing off the wall, and just you can see that Brian pre-flipping, trying to steal the goal from his teammate. I'm not sure if he has scored something in this series, but maybe this is why he's just trying to steal it. The team is looking really comfortable right now.
Brian, as far as I know, is probably one of the better players in Team Black Diamond. I think him and Frosty are uh, basically carrying the success of the team. Not trying to undermine Akrotik, he's really a good player, but
Oh,
he's mostly doing defensive tasks
oh,
while these two are more in the attack. So I think Brian probably can be happy with the results today.
yeah. Even if you're like not getting goals in the series, you're still helping your teammates out with the rotation, everything else. So it doesn't really matter. Just it's not really about the goals. Just like sometimes you get to bump your opponent out to the net, yet you still don't get any points for that. So points really don't mean a lot. But Black Diamond just never mind. Brian getting the last goal of the series. As we speak of it, it's just Brian just finally walking out with something. A great series, and for Vicious, like I said, I'm really respecting that team for being the first to make Team Black Diamond to lose a game. But Team Black Diamond, they were able to be bouncing back so quickly. They managed to get to win at least 3-1, just like how we predicted. So it wasn't 4-0, but at least the casters got something right. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be happy with that.
Yeah, it was actually it was a enjoyable match, and I'm just glad all the players had fun, as far as I can see in-game chat. So I wish good luck to them in the next match day. And since this was the last match of today, I just want to say thanks to everyone who watched. Thank you, Rydro, for joining me in the caster seat, and also thanks Sleeps for the same job and for streaming.